like stream down, stream up. Alright, we're back. If you stayed in live chat, you probably didn't get kicked. It's probably still going. Alright. iPad mini. Why is it on the other view? Doesn't make any sense. iPad mini iCloud removal again. Woohoo. We just ended the last stream because it was just kind of long. And people, I know people when they watch these later don't watch them all the way through because they're just so long. I have to bend that back. Yeah, don't watch me if you like short. If you like short videos, don't watch me. All my videos are gruesomely long.
So.
They'll make you want to pull your eyes out. Is this a mini 3? Yeah, it is. Alright. So this is actually a mini 3. This is not a mini 2. Oh, just wrecked those caps. I have to put those caps back on. 2 caps got knocked off. No big deal though. We'll put those back on here in a second. Probably gonna have to cut it back a little bit to see. There we go. We're just gonna remove like half this fucking cover at this point. There we go. Clip that thing off. Now let's put some caps back on instead of wrecking them. Wreck-It Ralph.
This is Wreck-It Ralph.
Long videos. That's for damn sure. We don't make any short cinema films. Alright, let's see if we can sneak this one back down into its hole. Come on. Go back to where you came from. I feel like one side of the pad is just too high. I have to knock this pad down. There we go. Please cooperate. Collaborate and listen. Alright, let's flip this back. See if I can get this tacked down without destroying everything. I have to use hot air to get this one tacked down. Alright, I'm going to use hot air after I get the NAND off. I'm just going to tack this one to our ground plane there for the time being. Alright, so fuck your caps. See if I can get this tip off. Get our larger tip on. Let's flip our heat back on. Knock our heat down.
Work on this fella?
Nope. Put him in. Put him in. Cause I said so. Booyah.
Oh, Chris.
Your mother. She goes to camp with all the slow kids. Alright. So we need to scrape out some underfill here.
Have you ever been here before?
Have.
What's your last name?
Scotch.
Johnny be good. Go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go, go! Go, Johnny, go, go, go! Time for the fluxing. Bring in the noise, bring in the flux. Time for my lift and stick. Alright, crank this camera out so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. Almost forgot my sweet coin. Actually, I need to put my...
Let's hope it goes through.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
If it doesn't run.
I got my phone, I'll just run.
Mikey, you fucked up. You did it wrong.
Oh, I got the card. I'll just wait till somebody goes in there.
Alright, so we're going to heat this up.
There's your card back.
So it worked.
Yep.
Awesome.
Get you to sign that there for me.
Well, you should be able to tell if it's working, hopefully.
I'm gonna do card.
Oh, the card?
Yeah.
So you're talking about the phone. I was like, I hope it's working.
Sure
So it's bubbling out the side now.
You like reinforce it or something?
Yeah.
What you do?
Yeah.
We put in a jumper and we put a shield on it to reinforce it.
Sweet.
Shouldn't have the problem you did.
Awesome. Is that it? We good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
problem.
Good to see you. Okay, I'm under the chip now. I'll make sure I keep heating because I don't want to lift any pads. I'm slowly working my way back and forth under the chip. Okay, chips off. Let's check our area here. Board looks good. Chip looks good. No scratches, no lifted pads. That's what we like to see. Now we can put those caps back on. Now that we have some room to work. We'll do that while the board is still warm. Alright. This cap's a little crooked, but I'm not worried about it. It's touching this pad, and I don't want it touching that one. So I'm okay with that. If they're not touching, it's good for me. Don't want to get this chip too hot over here with the underfill under it. We had a little bit of raise there, but I don't see any solder balls elsewhere, so I'm okay with that. CPU looks fine. We'll let it cool off. I'll let the whole board cool. I don't want to get it too hot. We'll work on our NAND. Smell them fumes. Now I got a nice breeze blowing across me from the fan. Alright, so I didn't get to explain this last video. So when I clean the NAND, the underfill will come off at a certain temperature. So I always use my largest chisel tip on 750 degrees 1 a.m. and I don't have any leaded solder on it, but what I do is go through and find my areas that have a high buildup of underfill, and you can see I'm not putting much pressure at all here, and I can just rub it off. Like, it just comes right off the chip. You don't have to put a whole lot of pressure. You shouldn't have to like dig at it or anything. If the temperature's right, it should just come right off. If you're having to dig at it, you run a chance of digging into the actual IC or the NAND, and we don't want to cause any unnecessary shorts anywhere, because shorts tend to be, I think, what was causing most of my issues. I was scraping either the board had something exposed and I wasn't cleaning it up well enough, or I was rubbing the chip too much and it was causing the coating to come off and causing bridges. And also, I think my chips weren't sitting level, so the sanding of the solder bowl afterwards has helped out tremendously. Alright, so this chip's fairly clean. We'll clean it off now and pop it into the NAND reader and see if it reads. I'm actually using acetone right here. So this is acetone. And then after I get done with this, I'll come back and we'll read the chip. So acetone, nail polish remover, whatever you want to call it. Same stuff pretty much. So alright, so that's clean enough for me. We got a little bit right here. I'm gonna clean that up. Alright, that looks good. So now we'll know if we've screwed the NAND or not. We'll go ahead and read it. Alright, so pin 1 is in the bottom left. Pop it in here. Alright, so NAND reads is a 16 gig NAND. Let me see if I can get this close enough to be able to see it. Alright, so I'll do it on this camera actually.
Just running a sweatshop.
I'm running a sweatshop here. Actually, it was better with the light on. Maybe. Just fucking overexposes itself every fucking time. Alright, so we'll click here, HD check. So as you can see, it says it's the 16 gig NAND. It reads both banks as good. So we'll go over here to read. And we're going to read the NAND. I'm going to have to switch it because this is an iPad mini 3. So see how it failed? So we go to configuration. 64 gig, enter, quit out, and then go back in, and now hit read, and you'll see it'll read the NAND. Okay, so it's read it. Now we'll hit set and write. So as you can see, there's all the information for it: the serial number, model number, the region, your Wi-Fi, and your Bluetooth address. So I'm going to change this number. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up and look. Navi Plus 3000 Pro 3000S. Alright, so that one's taken by a mini Retina. So let's try 0. No problem. I'll add that to the description if it's not in there. Okay, so 0. So it's writing the NAND now. I'm going to reread it and make sure that it reads. Yeah, $250. It's not a bad price. When they first came out, they were $400. Alright, so our information is stuck there. We'll do a check. Still reads the NAND fine, so we're good there. Now I'm going to clean the board. So flip our light back on here. Alright, so while we're cleaning this, we need to protect that from heat. I almost forgot, I need to flood this with leaded. I put leaded solder on here, that way when I'm cleaning, it'll melt at a much lower temperature. That way I don't risk lifting a pad. Mike is back there taking shits. Straining. Alright, so that's good, and I'm gonna wick those down. I forgot to wick them last time. I usually wick those just to make sure they're flush. It runs less a chance of grabbing one of those pads with the razor blade as I'm coming across it. Alright, so those are knocked down now. Now I'm going to come in with my blade and clean these up. Yeah, Zach, the serial numbers have to be non-used. The easiest way to get those is you look up the serial that you want to use, and if it's open and it falls in the formatting that Apple uses, it'll activate on their servers. If you use a custom serial number, it will restore and it'll work, but your iMessaging and your FaceTime will not register on Apple servers. So the number you use has to be one that is in the same format as the original serial number was. So I was just looking up to see which one was open. The first one I tried was an iPad Mini 2 Retina. Had that serial active, so I had to choose a different one. If you're a dick, you could write it to the same serial, but if they have iCloud on there, you're kind of fucked, because it will activate with their iCloud information. And then you'll have to know that to get it off, or you'll have to pull the NAND and redo it. And I've done that before. I pulled the NAND. I was trying to see if you could just swap the NANDs without reprogramming, and just take it from one iCloud lock device, but take it to a different type of device. And I took a iPod NAND and swapped it to a iPad, and the iCloud lock information follows the serial number. It doesn't care what kind of device it is. It just it assigns it to the actual serial. Alright, so that's good. It should be cleaned up. The database, you just use a serial number lookup. You can find any of them out there. There's a lot of them. Just look for Apple serial number lookup. Nothing special about them. Could this be used to copy NAND and link new device to active NAND? Are you talking about like a phone or something, or are you talking about another Wi-Fi device? This only works on Wi-Fi only devices. So if you're trying to do it to do an iPhone, it will not work. iPhones are assigned The NAND has to match the serial number of the phone, so you have to program the serial number of the phone into the NAND for it to even work, and then your iCloud information for iPhones is signed through the IMEI. If you have the equipment to reprogram every chip that's needed to do IMEIs, you can reprogram basebands and stuff with new IMEI, but the problem is the CPU has to match it. All on the iPhone, the CPU, NAND, baseband, and EEPROM is all tied together. So if you change one of them, you have to change them all. You can't just change one out and remove the iCloud. Alright, so that looks good. Just keep them over there. We gotta do this iPhone 6 Plus first anyway.
What's up with that?
TriStar.
What's up with that?
Alright, so that looks good. I'm going to clean this up with my toothbrush to get in between these caps and stuff. There's a lot of flux built up. Well, we got a cap over here that looks like it's pushed off of its spot, so I'm going to move that back. Give it a second to heat up. There it goes. There we go. Alright, so that's moved back into place. These caps over here, while they're crooked, they're on their pad, so I'm not entirely worried about them. Everything else looks okay. Nothing's really moved. Got a little underfill right there. I'm going to clean that up. The reason I do the iron method on the NAND and the hot air on this one is because the hot air on the board is a little easier to do. I don't want to get the NAND super hot because the NAND being hot can cause issues with damaging the chip. So the serial numbers I get off of just a lookup. Like, you just go to like an Apple lookup, serial number lookup, take the serial, like the serial I had was it ended with a 5, and I changed it to an 8 originally, and that was an iPad mini 2 Retina. So I changed it to a 0, and it came back as a unlisted serial number. It didn't have any device tied to it. Yeah, Bobby's correct. You just enter in the number that you're trying to get, and then see if it's taken or not. It needs to fit the formatting though of the device. If it doesn't, it won't work on iMessage or FaceTime. So let's get our stencil again. Let's see if we can do this in one shot this time without fucking up. Last time we had some problems. Yeah, add milk to it. Just change one row of the serial number and see if you can find a good one. If you can't, go to the next row and change one there. The first, like, I think it's like the first 6 or 8 digits have to do with where the iPad was made, or where the device was made and when. And then like the last 4 I think have to do with like identification or something. But I think you can change any of them.
Does he not have like a decoder online or something that breaks down what the serial means?
Yeah, there is, but I just changed one of the last 3 or 4 and it usually works. Alright, so I'm gonna reball this chip. Hopefully without too much issue. So I want to dry my paste a little before I come in. That way my reball, as you can see, one side of the stencil and the other side is lifted. That's why I like to stop and switch sides. Just so I can press this side down also. Like it's really lifted now. I'm going to let it cool. Alright, so that should be good. Alright, those are all formed. Nope, stencil's starting to get warped. I bought a couple of them though, so I think I'm okay. Alright, so that one's not very... The reball on that one's not very tall, so I'm going to clean that up and redo it like we did the last one. We need to make sure that the solder is sticking up quite a bit because I want to make sure that I can sand it and that I'll have enough solder there to be able to sand. Like right now it's fairly low. I could probably sand it, but I really want to just go ahead and redo it one more time. It won't hurt anything to do it again. Clean this up a little bit. I would assume that there would be some issues if you tried to assign the same serial number to a different device. I would assume that there would be something wrong with that. If they have iMessaging on, that means they're going to have an iCloud account, which means you probably won't be able to get it into the iPad anyway through the setup. The serial number will check just like any other one if there's an iCloud account assigned to it, and if there is, it's going to ask you for their password. So like I said, there's really no point in trying to assign somebody the same number. You're just going to cause yourself headaches. Plus it's kind of a dick move, so
Don't be a dick.
yeah, don't be a dick. If you're going to do this and do it as a service for people that have bought devices or have forgotten their information, don't be a douchebag and just do it the correct way. If you get good at this, you can make some money on it. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm still not a professional. Every single one of these I do, I'm fairly confident that it's not going to work, but so far I've been pleasantly surprised with positive results. So we're going to keep hoping that we get those results. Alright, so the solder balls here in the center are too small, so I'm just going to heat this and hope my stencil will separate from it. Doesn't look like it's wanting to. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so we'll heat this up and just reshape these real quick. Alright. Now we'll check for any low pads. Those look okay. Still warm. We got 1, 2 over here that look kind of low. So same process as last time. I'm just going to add some solder, let the flux burn off, and then just tap on them to make a peak. There we go. And then we'll add some flux to reform. Alright. Now we'll cool that and then clean it off. Yeah, technically, Bobby, you could lock somebody out of their own iPad if you chose a serial that was already active. If it's not active, you can't really lock them out of it. I assume that when Apple runs these devices through their programming, that it goes and checks their servers to see which serials are active or not. But alright, so those are all big enough we can sand that down. So we'll check and see. Alright, so it's getting there. You want to check every couple times that you run it across because it'll eat through this solder quickly. Alright, we got one left that hasn't touched over here. Still hasn't touched. It's fairly low. I'm gonna see. It's pretty close. Alright, so now it's touched that pad, so we're good. Let's clean the excess off. Yeah, the Navi Pro. You don't have an IMEI on these. These are Wi-Fi only iPads. If this was a 3G iPad, you can't do this. Because the 3G iPads are assigned the same exact way that the iPhones are. If you change one thing, you have to change multiple things. The best thing to do with a 3G iPad, if it's iCloud locked, is to do the resistor removal. You can do it on every model except the Mini 4 and the Air 2. The Mini 4 and the Air 2 have issues with Wi-Fi not working after you do the removal. Until they figure out how to get around that, there's some people said you can change out the Wi-Fi module and reprogram it with a different one, but I didn't have any luck out of it. So, alright, so all those are flat and the same size, which is what we're looking for. Okay. Okay, so we got a pad on here that's not level. I can feel it on the board itself. So I'm going to go ahead and knock these down again. Well, that spools out. Looks like we got a couple that are not flat. Alright, everybody else looks okay. Alright, so let's place our NAND back on. I'm going to check. I'm fairly confident this is how it was, but I want to check and make sure. There's a Mini 3, so yeah, you could sell chips that were reprogrammed and pre-balled. That is, if somebody doesn't come in and take the serial number that you've already used, which there's nothing stopping them. It's pretty much first come first serve on the serial numbers. If you get one, you're doing good. Alright, let's make sure that our pins are correct here. Alright, so based off the schematic, there's a ground here and a ground here that are connected. And the way you can tell on the chip is, I think pin 1 is in the bottom corner here, which would be the top here, pin 1. So we can measure here, so we know those are correct. So pin 1 is in that bottom corner. We'll put down our flux. And then we'll come in and place our chip down. You want it to be fairly close to where you think it's gonna sit. The last thing you want is the chip having to travel a long distance to be seated. Alright, so I'm gonna cover the CPU back up. Slowly heat this NAND back up. Alright, so it seems like it's reflowed. Make sure we don't have any balls squirting outside there. Alright, so I'm looking down the edge here. I can see the... I'll show it to you all if y'all can see it. I might have to turn the brightness up. Let me see if I can get in focus there. You can see the balling under the chip. Everything looks like it's pretty flush. Looks like it's set down pretty well. Let's hope that our good luck keeps going. Micah, can I see the housing for this one? So fingers crossed again, everyone. Mini.
Here you go, Chris.
Alright, so plug it in. This should be in DFU mode as soon as we hook it up because the serial number has been changed. Alright. It is in DFU mode. I heard the computer see it. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you all can see it here in a second. Still installing the driver down here at the bottom. iTunes takes forever to open. Fucking Apple, man.
Can't do nothing.
Apple shit is slow. Alright, iTunes is open. I'm gonna switch over to that view. Alright, so I'm gonna wait for this driver to finish installing because it can cause issues on restore. So we'll let that driver finish. Slowest driver ever. It's stupid to me. Every time I plug in a new iPad, it has to reinstall the same exact drivers over and over. Revive, you would have to figure out the secure enclave, so good luck with that. That shit's encrypted. What the fuck is it doing? Come on. Alright, fuck it. I'm not waiting on it. It's just fucking annoying me. So restore iPad, restore and update. I don't know why this driver's taking so long to install, but whatever. Don't care. So it's saying this is a Mini 2. So the serial may not be right. Because this is, I believe it's a Mini 3, but it may be a Mini 2 Retina, like late model. We'll find out when it restores. If it'll restore.
Oh.
Does this have fingerprint scanner?
It didn't have a screen though.
They didn't have anything on it?
No.
Oh, we'll find out here in a second if it's actually a Mini 2 or a Mini 3. I thought it was a Mini 3, but maybe it's not. Well, now the driver's fucking installing.
Wouldn't you be able to? Wouldn't you have a second, another input for the home button instead of just the digitizer?
I think it comes through the digitizer connector.
On the other one that we just did,
They have a separate?
Yeah. It's
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe it's Mini 2. Alright, preparing iPad for restore. Let's see what it does. Alright, so it's giving me the USB device not recognized. Last time it did this, I just unplugged it and plugged it back in and it worked. Yeah, it did it again. So it worked again. I don't know why it does that. For some reason it'll catch itself and say that it can't recognize the USB device, and if I just reseat the USB, it works. Alright, so it's made it into the last step, so it is working again. So you all must be good luck, because beforehand this process was about a 50-50 shot, and now it's been 100%. So I'm counting my chickens before they hatch, but
Yeah.
it's gotten past the point where it usually airs out. So we'll see what it does.
We'll see, Chris. We will see.
Yep, restoring iPad software. Woohoo! Alright, sweet. We're on a roll today. We're on a roll. I got a iPhone 6 Plus TriStar here that we need to do. And then we also have an iPad Air. Settings exclusion. Vlad, will that keep it from reinstalling the driver every time that an iPad's hooked up, or will that just turn off Windows updates? I don't have a screen on this iPad, by the way, so I can't tell if it's what it's doing. I can only watch what iCloud or iTunes tells me. Okay. Good payback on a $50, no, $250 Magic Box, but yeah. I think I paid $200 for mine. I found it somewhere. They had it cheaper on some site, and I found it, but I'm pretty sure VIP Programmer has them too for $250. Yeah, I had to. Luckily, I paid through PayPal because the first time they shipped it, it never actually came in. So I contacted him and bitched at him for 3 days, and they finally sent another one. I told him if he wasn't going to ship it out, I was just going to file for my money back. Sorry, this is the boring part of the video. It's pretty good though. We did a NAND reprogram in about 40 minutes. It's not bad. That's $80 an hour that I'm making right there.
Oh, come on now. It's not full $80. You get paid me.
Well, I mean, it's still $80 an hour
Yeah.
that we're making.
I know.
Okay. Whatever, I'm $65 an hour. We need to get a test mule computer in the back. Just set the server up so we can just plug in USB devices. Just have them all restoring.
Restoring at once.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you open multiple instances?
You would have to have. You'd have to have multiple OSs or
desktops?
something. Yeah. Our iPad has been restored to factory settings. Rebooting in 7 seconds. The iPad has restarted. We'll have to give it a minute to turn on. Usually takes about 20 seconds to turn back on. Yep, there it is. Alright, it'll show up in iTunes here shortly. I mean, for NAND reprogramming, if you get good at it, there's guys in China that do these NAND, they do NAND memory upgrades on iPhones for $45. $45, but the guys in China do, the video I watched, I think he said they do, between 4 people, they did like 250 a day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How do they do it that fast?
They're fucking fast as shit, dude.
But I mean, software-wise, I mean...
They
well,
they have it set up. They just have them set up
pre-done?
and go. Yeah. All they do is they have the NAND waiting.
Yeah.
They read the old one, copy the serial, put the new one in, paste it, and then put it back on.
Yeah.
It's pre-balled. All they have to do is set it on and go. It's fucking nuts. Alright, so our iPad is up. There we go. So see where I put the 0 at the end versus where it was originally a 5? So now the device shows up in as a non-locked device. If we unplug it and plug it back in, you'll see that it's not iCloud locked. I say that and it'll be iCloud locked. Nope. Okay, so there you go. So the serial number is good, no iCloud tied to it, and we now have a working iPad. And you can see iPad Mini 2. This is Mini 2. I thought it was Mini 3, but it's actually Mini 2.
What happens if you accidentally duplicate a serial on the inside iCloud lock? It would pop up iCloud lock, wouldn't it?
Yes, it'll come up as iCloud. Sweatshop NAND iCloud, fast shopping, bro. Alright, where's that 6 Plus board? Yeah, I agree, Vlad. You can't... NAND upgrades for the individual are pointless. You have to be doing it with either a business or just have a shit ton of people doing it on a daily basis. Mostly it's the only reason I'm doing these is because it's for business. If a person walks in and says, hey, my device is iCloud locked, can you all take it off? I charge more. I charge like $125. So for these, for being a business, I charge less because he sent us 4 in the bag and like 11 more, so 15 devices. So far we've gotten what, 4 of them now that are working and 1 that wasn't. And the first one we did was the one we fucked up on.
He sent more than just that. I mean, he sent...
Oh yeah, he sent... the box was full of iPads. The other ones are all 4G and 3G models. Those are just redoing some resistors and stuff. Alright, so this is TriStar 6 Plus. This one should be fairly straightforward and easy. Shouldn't take much to do. Let me, I'm gonna have to cool my hot air station off and change the tip out. can't use my giant tip. Is this patchable by Apple?
Yeah.
If they made the serials assigned and didn't allow any other serials to assign themselves on the servers, yes. It would only stop iMessage though. You can still use the iPad. Unless they said that the servers wouldn't allow restoration of them, then I guess they could lock them out. These iPads, no. He bought these as a lot from a recycling company. So a company that he buys devices from. Yeah, he bought all these iPads back when the cheap iPad or the Wi-Fi only unlocks were out for like $20. He bought a lot from a recycler that had like 200 of them or something, and he bought all these and sent them to us to get all the information taken off after they stopped doing the $20 iPad or Wi-Fi removal stuff. Now it costs like $200 to get any iCloud account removed. Thanks for watching, Maurice. Alright, so this is almost cooled off. I'm going to take the tip off of it and swap it out. Yeah, if you can find a recycler and get in good with them, you can fucking get set up, because like they get slightly older MacBooks that have been like water damaged or something like stupid's wrong with them, so people just get rid of them. Like I would love to find a recycler that I've found a few, but a lot of them just want too much, I think, for water damaged devices, because water damage can be an absolute nightmare at times. But I've found a few recyclers that sell MacBooks in large lots. We've also found a school district online sale stuff for government auctions for schools, but they're a little overpriced, I think. Like you have to buy in bulk to make any money doing it. All right, where the fuck are my tweezers? Oh, they're there. Yeah, if you can get in good with your local like scrapyards and stuff, that'd be a good one too. Like, because people take electronic devices there, and just dump them off, and you may be able to run into some good stuff. Because everybody's looking to make a little extra money, so. And recyclers tend to not give a shit about what the cost of the device is. They're just trying to make profit on the scrap costs. So you all can see what I'm doing there in the camera in the bottom left. I'm just going around the edge of the shield with my hot air, and the shield will come off once the metal around the edge melts. Alright, and we're going after TriStar, which is right here. This phone is not recognized by the computer. It's having issues with the phone draining the battery extremely quickly, and it's also showing symptoms of not recognizing the cable. So we'll come in here and clean off this underfill, and I'll get that in focus for you all and turn the exposure down. Sorry about that. It's hard to pay attention to both of these. I have to keep looking up to make sure it's in focus for you all. Alright, so clean off our underfill here. There's two caps under here, so I want to be careful with them. And then we're going to come down this side. I'm not too worried about damaging this chip. That's not really a concern. Pick off this underfill on the top just so the heat will transfer into the chip faster. Alright, I'm going to zoom in here. Get this in focus. I'll turn the brightness back up some. So I'm going to flood this area with a little bit of flux. The flux helps to to make any solder that's going to be liquid turn liquid. Alright, so my temperature is where I want it to be. Grab my chip here. I'm just putting a slight pressure against it. So it's ready. Here we go. And it's off. What I do is I grab the chip and I put a little downward pressure on it, like this way, just a little bit, not much. And then when I think it's ready, I'll just start to slowly like twist it side to side. And if it moves easily, I know that it's ready. And then I just kind of pull it to the side, and it'll lift off. If it's not ready, it will not twist. You'll just break the chip, or you can tear pads off. So you want to just easy pressure against it. TriStar symptoms are not connecting to the computer because it's a USB data communication. Sometimes it can cause the phone not to turn on because it's on the USB, or it's on the CPU data lines. So if you have a phone that won't turn on at all, try replacing TriStar. Sometimes that can be it. If you eliminate everything else, like a battery or something simple. It can also cause accessory not supported error messages on known supported cables. TriStar can also cause no charging issues where the device won't charge because it's not seeing the USB, or it can even cause sometimes false charging. Usually Tigris has more to do with false charging, but it can be caused by TriStar at times. Alright, so I like to clean up all the underfill here just so it looks good. Not really necessary, but makes me feel good about it. Makes Micah's mom feel good about it too. Micah's mom's like, I really feel good about this. I'm like, you should. You should feel good about this. On the inside. Inside peanut butter, outside jelly. Alright, so that's good. It's cleaned up enough for me. False charging, it's where you plug in the charger and the lightning bolt comes up, but the actual phone doesn't charge. It just keeps going down as it normally would. Alright, so we'll put a little bit of flux down. We'll grab our new TriStar chip. We'll place it where we want it. Alright, keep shifting a little bit. Alright, so that's good enough. I'm going to turn it and come from this direction, because if the chip tries to slip any, it's just going to touch these capacitors back here and kind of stop. And this will take a second because the NAND beside it there has a decent amount of heat sinking. So this chip is one of the longer ones you have to reflow to get it to sit down, but you'll see it move when it gets to the liquid point. I'll turn up my brightness a little. Alright, it may have moved while I wasn't looking. Yeah, it did. So it looks like it's set down. Let's just tap it. So see how it springs back? Alright, so we're good there. Alright, so take our heatsink off. Our chip is down secure. Now we're going to put it back in the frame and check it. I put a smaller nozzle on, Zach, because the larger one, it just spreads heat too wide, and I really don't want heat all over the board. I just want it focalized where I need it at the time. For the NAND, I've started using a larger tip because the NAND needs to have pretty consistent heating across its entire size. But I still want it to be somewhat focalized, so I don't just put on the no tip, or I don't just pull the tip and do no tip at all. You probably could do it that way, but I still like to have some control over the direction that it's going. So there, our TriStar is on. Turn that brightness down a little. Get it in focus there. So TriStar is on. I'm gonna go ahead and put the shield back on. I'm fairly confident in that repair. We've done quite a few of them, so I don't suspect we'll have any issues. It'll be easy to come back off though, if so, because we're just tacking the edges down here. Alright, and then I'm going to tack my ends. Alright, so those are all good. Lay our antenna back in here. I believe this is a GPS antenna, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to check the schematic. Can't see the frame on screen. TriStar damage is from shitty cables. Yes, shitty cables and any device that draws power from TriStar. So those little fucking lightning fan things that people buy. The lightning port can output 3 volts at like 200 milliamps, so it's not very much at all. People put these little fan things on there, and they like stop them with their hands and stuff, and that causes amperage spikes that end up burning TriStar out. So don't get those fucking lightning fan things. They burn TriStar up. Just any device that talks to USB, it has to go through TriStar. So any shitty device you hook up through that can cause damage to TriStar. Alright, so I'm not going to put this all the way in. I just want to test the charging. I still haven't hooked up my bottom cable, so. But we want to see if this is recognized by the computer now. And if it charges, that will tell us right away. So it's turning on. That means that it's at least seeing the USB to boot, which is a separate line, but that can also be an issue at times. USB coffee cup heater? Yeah. Fucking idiots. Alright, so the phone's turned on. The computer sees it. It just dinged at me. And if we switch up here, you can see Janet's iPhone. So it recognizes the USB and can read the phone now. Before it was not doing that. We'll trust this computer. Stop fucking popping up shit. Alright, so the computer is trusted. I'm going to open up 3U here. If you don't have this program, I'll show it to you in a second. Just cancel that out. I don't care about that. Close iTunes. So this program here is called 3U. It is a very helpful program. So this will give you readouts on everything on the phone that the phone can see. So you've got your battery life down here, how many times it's been charged, the disk type. You can actually look at the disk type. It tells you what size it is. It's a 64 gigabyte. It tells you the manufacturer, tells you the chip ID, all that information. You can see where the region is. You can see the warranty information, when it was produced. iCloud information. iCloud's turned off. She does have an Apple ID assigned to it though. It's activated, not jailbroken. The model number. And then if you go here, you can look at the battery details. It'll tell you how much is left on the battery. So actual capacity is 2649. The original capacity is 2855. So that tells you there's an 8% drop in the battery's efficiency. Gives you the serial number of the battery and the temperature, your instant voltages, and your boot amperage. So it's a lot of useful information on that tool. So if you don't have it, you should get it. It is definitely worth the free $99 that it cost. All free $99. So I'm waiting to see if it charges. It's still at 41%. So we'll see if it goes up to 42, and then I'll call it done. Micah's about to make fart noises. Still 41%. Now we could have two symptoms here. We could have false charging and a bad TriStar. The false charging is caused usually by Tigris. Tigris controls the battery gate. The battery gate can go bad, and Tigris can go bad. Still at 41. USB only puts out 500 milliamps, I think. Maybe 1 amp. I'm not sure. I don't think they do 1 amp. I think it's 500 milliamps. On the computers, at least. Bobby said, fuck Micah. Yeah, it's similar to iBackup. iBackup's a good one too, especially if you want any type of system dumps or anything. I think 3U does the same thing with the system dumps, but iBackup I think is a little easier to do them. That way you can read any errors that the phone is having, and you can kind of tell what's going on with it. So within an hour's time we did 2 repairs. Pretty good. It's good money. I wish it was busy all the time like that. I'm gonna pop this over to my actual charger here and see if we can get it to charge up a little faster. Because this is taking far too long on the computer.
I'm gonna put this picture. Do you get the motherboard of this thing?
Which one?
The Pro.
The Air?
Pro.
It's not a Pro. It's an Air.
It's just an Air?
Yes.
I thought it was a Pro.
Oh, maybe it is.
I think it is a Pro.
Oh, well.
Yeah, she said, what was it, 400 some bucks? Or
yeah,
something?
maybe it is. It's a 9-inch though.
Oh, the board is in here.
Yeah.
I just gotta put it
The
back
cover.
together.
I don't know where the cover is.
Well, I mean, what's she gonna do with it?
Nothing. Just
Yeah.
check it in and turn it in. This.
Are they gonna physically open it?
No, they don't
Like,
give a
no,
shit.
You can't do this.
All right, let's see. 42%. So we're charging. Sweet. So this one is done. We'll turn it off. Micah, remember the antenna on the top bottom of the board's not hooked up on this one.
Yeah, I checked everything.
Well, I've got it sitting in there. That's why I said.
Oh, Chris, why would you do that to me?
All right, hand me the next iPad. Bro, keep going. iPads. All the iPads. I gotta turn my heat off again and switch my tips. What is this? An Air or what?
Is it an Air? I did look at the connector.
Yeah, it's an Air. It's an Air 1. Because it doesn't have the... Did it have the screen on it?
No, I did not screen on it.
I'll look it up by the model number.
You want me to give you the... Oh, you get the number off the board?
If I can find it. Is these stickers? No, those aren't stickers.
You want the number off the board?
Off the back, yeah. Because there too, I don't know if it'll work or not. I'll try it.
It is. It A1566.
I think that's Air 1.
Why can't you do it on those?
The Air 2's... No, it's Air 2. Ooh, we'll see. I don't know if I've got... This may have the new style NAND on it. We'll see. If it's got the 6S NAND on it, I can't do them. I don't have the 6S reader, so...
Let's sell that separately or remake it?
Oh, no, it's got the old style NAND on it. Alright, cool. We can do this. God damn, it's in a fucking shitstorm of components around it, though. Ugh. This is not going to be fun, ladies and gents. I may take
Good luck.
2 of these caps off down here just to have some space to work. Man, it's ugly. Girl, that's ugly. 15 iPads repaired in one stream. See you, Bobby. Alright, so...
We'll be all damn night, right?
Yeah, we'll be here all night if we're gonna... if we'd have to do that. Micah said he ain't doing it. Just y'all can fuck right off.
I gotta go home and do shit tonight.
He's got shit to do. He's gotta go take his bike off some sweet jumps.
I gotta take Chris's mom to Wendy's.
Fuck yeah, Wendy's, bro. Alright, let's change this tip. Just the tip.
Just
Blow the tip.
damn it. I need to see the screen off me before it gives me a heart attack.
Come off here, bitch. Where are my pliers?
With your butt.
We gotta go pick up a table tomorrow. I gotta call Jonathan back.
Yeah, he's wanting to meet
today.
Set up a time to meet tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'll call him back here in a second. I think I got his number in the car. Or no, it's right here actually.
Well, you got it stored in your phone because you called. It should be on your caller ID.
Micah, don't tell me what
Chris,
I have.
I'm just helping you.
Don't tell me what I
Let
have.
me help you, help me.
Help me, help you, help him, help us. Help
Are you
her.
getting furniture and stuff for Sweetland?
Yes.
Oh, we gotta make it fancy in there.
I got a nice big wooden table to
Just
put our
for a
computers
big,
on.
Morbidly obese lady to sit on.
Yeah, there's no chairs.
Okay.
I made sure of that, Micah.
Let me have a seat here. It was a night just like tonight. Sound like a dump truck falling off the Empire State Building.
Alright, stop making me laugh.
And they fall on the body.
Alright, let's clean all this up. Is that off a fucking...
Pee-wee Herman with
Yeah.
Marge.
Alright, so the NAND is cleaned out. I'm going to remove these two capacitors right here. Just so I have some room to work. Set these off to the side so I don't lose them. Alright, so I want to come in right here and try to get under the NAND. Let's go ahead and put our flux down. There's a lot of underfilled chips all around this fucking thing, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun, you know. Alright. Let's see if I can do this without fucking it. I'm gonna have to try to get just barely under this NAND as far as I can without hitting anything, and then try to flip it up, which is possible, but I don't like to do it because it causes more issues with pulling pads when you do that, because you're kind of having to guess if the if it's ready to go or not. Alright, it let me under. So I'm just going to try to flip this chip up by putting some pressure upwards on it with my Alright, so it came off. Let's see how many caps I knocked off. Let's see if we lifted any pads here. I know I hit one. I don't know, I didn't hit that one. Yeah, I hit two over here. I don't know where that one is. Oh, there it is. So there's the one cap that goes there. I'll have to find the other one. Hopefully it didn't go too far. If it did, I'll have to just see if I can find one that matches at least. It's not on the blade there. There it is. Found it. So we got our caps back. So we can put all those back on. Next time I may just go ahead and remove all four of those. Now let's check. I got some dry joints there on the outer edge. These all look like they were liquid. This one was dry. This one was dry. This was dry. This was dry. This was dry. Let's check our NAND itself. Yeah, everything's there. Nobody's scratched or anything, so I'm okay with it. So I'm going to go ahead and flood this area. Alright, so this guy's getting banned. See you later, buddy. Bye. Bye, little Bible. Sorry about that, guys. I wasn't seeing chat. I don't know, fucking some spammer. Just people that have nothing better to do. So, talking about the Bible and come look at their channel. Because everybody that's on this stream is obviously looking for Jesus.
Looking for Jesus in all the wrong places.
Alright, so heat all those up. I may clean the underfill on the board this time with the iron just because of the proximity to CPU and a bunch of other components on this board. How you doing? I don't know what it is. It's my grade.
See what I'm gonna run down the road here. You're gonna jot down my number and get you.
Here, I'll just have it for my
Wayne. If worst case scenario, you need to come back tomorrow, we'll just do it there.
Yep. Need to order more braid. Down to my last one. How much is on this one? I have plenty on this one.
I got lots of good ones here for you.
Lots of Goot Wick. I'm good on the Goot Wick, Micah.
Chris, you might want to use
Alrighty.
Appreciate it.
No problem. This is going to be my last item for the day. Microscope abuse hotline. Scope down! Alright, I'm going to just turn my temperature down and do the hot air. I just really don't feel like trying to go in here with the iron. It's hard to see on these because they're similar colors. At least with the X-Acto, I can see that it's coming up. Ooh, got a little deep there. Trying to get too aggressive with it. I'm gonna start exposing traces if I'm not careful. Pressing too hard there. Exposed a little bit of trace up there, but I'll just cover that with some solder mask. Alright, and now we got a little bit right here to do, and then we should be good. Knocked the component loose there. It's alright though. We'll put that one back down. Okay, there. So where'd my tweezers go now? So zoom in here. Alright, so that's back on. We'll go ahead and tin up our pads when we go to put these back on. Alright. Now let's do some cleaning. And then we'll do a little bit of solder mask to make sure that these don't bridge on anything, because we definitely don't want that. We can dig out our excess underfill over here in the corner. If there's any left over on this one, I'm just going to use the iron to pick it up, but it looks pretty good. So you can see there's a few traces in there that I kind of scraped away at. I don't want those exposed, if you all can see it. I'm going to clean that up really well with acetone. my t-shirt is 144p. We got a few spots with some underfill on them, but I don't think there's much that's gonna cause any problems now. Just clean these up real quick. Oh yeah, cleans up nice, real nice. Got it on sale at Target. It's real nice. Alright, so let's put our underfill in here. Underroos. Alright, that's good. Let's cure that shit. Yeah! I got attacked by my freeze spray. What'd you lose, Micah?
The thing popped off that covered the charcoal. Came at me.
Come at me, bro.
Came at me, bro.
Alright, so let this cure over here to the side while we work on our NAND. NAND honestly looks pretty fucking clean. It's got a few spots of underfill on it, but really low amount. Usually with the when you flip them up like that, that's the case. You'll have a lot less underfill on the NAND when you flip them up versus when you slide under them with the shim tool. The only problem with the flip up is you do run more of a chance of lifting pads. So if you get good at it, it's more helpful because you don't have to clean one side at all, really. I'm just scraping the sides of the NAND here to make sure that there's no excess underfill stuck to them, because if there is, it won't fit in the stencil. Missed the spot down the right bottom corner trace you covered. Bottom right hand corner. Where? Hold on. See if I can see that. I didn't see one. Talking about here. I'm gonna clean this up anyway, but I don't really see anything that's fucked up there. Unless you're talking about underfill. I'm not totally concerned with underfill. And just to double check, make sure I didn't miss one. No, everybody's covered. There's no exposed trace there anymore. I'm okay with that. Alright, let's read our NAND. If there's a small spot, it's not a big deal. Most of the time, those are ground traces anyway. I'll check it before I do anything else, but I'm fairly confident that it's okay. Alright, so let's read this NAND. Alright, so give me a failed, which means that my pads are not clean or the chip is bad. So let's go in here and clean these pads up. It's got a bunch of gunk on them, so that may be the case. Clean it up with some acetone. I also tin all these pads up. Some of these being, if they're dry pads, it can cause it not to read, just because it can't get a good contact with the pad itself. So I'll go ahead and wick these just to make sure that they're all level. Alright, so those are all cleaned up and level now. We'll come back in, clean off our flux. Dremel. Alright, so let's make sure we got it in the right way again. Try this again. Hey, now it reads. So it's reading 16 gig NAND. Now let's read the chip. It's reading it now. Okay. Alright, we have our serial information up now. Now I'm going to go and get a new number for it. So let's change a letter. Change a letter. So let's type in Sorry guys, didn't even know I was muted. My bad. Micah's bad, guys. He apologizes. Micah apologizes. Alright, so just melting the solder again, putting our second layer on. We're doing this so we know we got big balls. We got the biggest balls of all. Who's got big balls? Alright. So that looks good. Kick it off to the side here, let it cool a little bit. The romance is over. What's over? All the people that were watching? We're still at 17, that's normal. 17 is the normal viewing amount that I get. Alright, so clean this shit up. Let's take a look at her. Take a gander. Gander at her goodies. Got some tiny balls on this side, that's for sure. So we're gonna redo our balls. And hopefully not fucking burn anything up here. Which side was it? It's this side, isn't it? Yeah, the other side's good. It's this side that's got small balls. So load our iron up with some solder. God, I got too many tools over here that's getting in the way. Let the flux burn off and then just tap and lift. Tap and lift.
Tap, tap, tap.
The old taparoo. We can even do it with our center ones if we want. Alright, so we'll reflow those. Get them to sit down flush. Or not flush, but reballed. And then we'll do our sanding. Need some more flux there. Alright. So we're going to say that's good. And we're going to clean it up. Nice salty balls.
Salty.
Alright, so let's take another peek at them balls. Alright, those look good enough to sand. Those balls look good enough to sand. So we'll check it. Okay, so about half of them have touched so far. Check it again. Alright, we got about 4 or 5 left that haven't touched. That one's touched, that one's touched. So we have 4 left that haven't touched. Alright. Now we have 1 left that hasn't touched. Looks like, no, 2. That one and that one. let's see. Alright, so I feel like we're gonna have to possibly bump those up a little bit to make them acceptable height, because I'm getting low where I don't want to shave off too much more solder. So I'm just gonna bump those two up. So you can see the ones I haven't touched. You got one there and one there. So I'm gonna do a little bump up on both of them. Maybe flatten them back out some. I don't want to reflow them because it'll take away that levelness that I've gotten so far. So what I'm hoping to achieve is that we all get a... There we go. Now everybody's got a flat surface that they will connect to. So if you look down through there, everybody's level. Alright, so I'm going to wipe this up, the solder residue that's on the mat here. And then we're going to clean this once more to make sure that there's no excess sitting around that can cause issues with bridging. Okay, let's see. Looks good. That should work. Alright, come back over to our board, which should be nice and cured now. Oh yeah, looks good. Let's see, I believe these are ground, so this little tiny speck here, yep, that's ground. That one, I'm not super concerned with it. I'll put a little bit on it just to make sure. I'm not overly concerned that it's going to do anything, but better safe than sorry, right? The other one's ground, so if it grounds to that, then fuck it. Let it do it. This won't take very long to cure. Alright, should be good. Now let's put some, let's check again to see where pin 1 was. I believe Toshiba was read that way. Okay. This one should have no continuity to anything, as it doesn't. Those two should have continuity. Pin 1's here, so it should be, let's see, it'd be like this. So this one and this one. Alright, so that's right. So orientation is that way. Okay. place our NAND back on. Oh yeah. You know it's right when you place it down, and because you've wicked your pads really well, that you can find a place where it just kind of stays on its own. Like right there it grabs, like I can feel it drop down into the pads. So I'm going to go ahead and reflow that. Let's cover our CPU. Alright, so it reflowed. Hopefully this one's okay. I don't like working around main components that much, so it always kind of bugs me when I have to. So we'll put some flux down. I'm going to go ahead and load these pads up a little bit with leaded, just to make sure that installing these caps is painless and easy. Let's see if I can place them by hand without having to use hot air. Makes it easier when you can. Okay, so one down. Two down. Three. And our last one here. Hopefully we can get this one in there. May have to do a tack from the side. Put a little flux on there. I mean, it's on the pads. It's just crooked. Okay, I can live with that. 13 viewers. No, that's okay. I'm about to go home. I'm about to go home, so this one may not even work, so we're about to find out. Let me test our positive and negative here. So that's our negative and that's our positive. So I'm gonna hook my gator clips up to it. And that way I don't have to pop it back into the frame. I can just do it straight from here. Let's recheck that because I can't remember the memory of a goldfish. Alright, ground is on the right, positive is on the left. Go ahead and hook up our positive. And then hook up our negative. Okay, so those are connected. No shorts, that's good. Now let's hook it up to the computer. I appreciate it, Vlad. Appreciate it a lot, man. Alright, so it is on. Computer sees it. So let's put you all back on the other view. So 3D Tools already sees it. I'm not going to use that because their restore takes a while sometimes. I'll let iTunes handle it. But as you can see, it's showing the iPad Air 2 in recovery. Well, if I can get, there we go. I want to close 3U out. That way it doesn't cause any issues. Okay. So we're going to download our firmware. Store and update. Oh, it's already downloaded. Good. Alright, so fingers crossed again, guys. Yeah, it's normal to say NA because it's in DFU mode. Lynn, I'm glad you learned something, man. It's been a really good day for me, too, so... Like, if this one's successful, that'll be even better. If not, I mean, fuck it. We had a good day. Did you get that S4 figured out?
I don't have a tool to test amp for or anything.
Did you look at the pins?
Huh?
How the pins look?
I went through and felt all the pins. The pins
look fine?
Look fine. I tried hooking up, still didn't do nothing, so I swapped out another charger port that was already in there before I went and desoldered that one and soldered it back on, but still doing the same thing.
Okay.
But I can't really see what it's doing. I need to order that one tool he's talking about. He said it was a little pricey, but I still need to get it.
Oh, which one?
The current meter.
Oh, the one that does the battery testing?
Yeah.
I wish your board just worked.
I'm not buying those. Or having you buy one or whatever. I'm done with them. I'm going to buy a good one.
I don't know why mine's work so well. Jack Daniels? Actually, no, I like Woodford Reserve.
Drink Jack Daniels. Fuck you.
Oh, well, this might have worked. Hold on. This will be the true test if it connects back. Oh, nope, that one didn't work. So, I'll have to pull that one back off.
You think the chips fail, or you think it's not soldered on correctly?
No, I think that one's... The solder's not good. I looked at the chip. It looked a little crooked, but I was hopeful it would be okay. Alright, so I'm going to call it on that one. We'll end on a failure, but that's okay with me. We had a good day. I'll pull that one back off tomorrow and redo it. That could have happened. Yeah, Lewis just started streaming, so if you all haven't watched Lewis, go watch Lewis. He's a good guy. Very good streams, very entertaining. I'm gonna try one more restore because I didn't have the power turned on when that first booted up. So I just want to make sure for sure that it wasn't something stupid like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and end stream, and I'll probably watch Lewis's on my way home. But thank you everybody that watched today. I know it was long, but we got a lot done. You all have a good day, and I will see you all next time. See ya.